Seeing as we're talking about Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, who's your favourite character in that universe?
The one we're talking about today, Gustavo Fring. Giancarlo Esposito is an actor I'm going to guess 99% of the people watching this right now know for a single role. Gustavo Fring on Breaking Bad and more recently, Better Call Saul. A role Esposito only managed to land because he hustled like an absolute pro.
What do you mean he hustled like a pro?
Well, before we can get into that, we have to talk about the role as it was written originally before Esposito took it and made it his own. Because according to him, when he was offered a guest spot in a single episode of Breaking Bad, he was given a single line of direction about the character he was going to play, Gustavo Fring, and that was, "You're a very nice man who sells chicken."
If he was only given a single line of direction, that makes it sound like he's not going to be a particularly big character.
No, Gustavo Fring wasn't supposed to be a big part of the show at first. That all changed though when Giancarlo Esposito's dick walked into the audition 10 minutes before he did, and he decided, I'm going to play Gustavo Fring like a villain anyway, even though I'm not supposed to.
Why would you want to play your character like a villain?
Well, Esposito's reasoning to himself was, if I play Gustavo Fring like he has a secret or ulterior motive, the audience will pick up on it and assume that the character is part of some sort of overarching plot or is more important to the story than he appears, and I'll get invited back to do another episode. Can we just stop for a moment, just salute the size of his balls for trying to pull this fucking shit off? Because he was given a single line of direction and he was playing perhaps the dumbest character in the show. Because if you haven't by now, please play the clip where he did an advert for Los Polos Hermanos in character as Gustavo Fring. He's supposed to be nice manager man, and he looks like such a shitbird. He looks so bad. Put the picture behind him like that. And then put that next to it, put the dark and brooding one of him from Better Call Saul, where he's in the dark suit, he's like this. It doesn't even look like the same guy. It's so terrifying. It's the fact he can just switch so quickly. From I'm happy, nice manager man, I'll serve you your chicken. Oh, sorry sir, I've made a spill here, I'll clean it up too. I'm going to fucking murder you.
That's such a fucking genius idea.
It is, isn't it? And it's weird how no one else has thought of it, as far as I'm aware. Because, holy shit, is that a good idea to make sure you get invited back to do another episode? Oh yeah, just do this one episode guest spot. It's nah. I'm not about that life. I'm not about that one paycheck life. I want a salary. And it reminds me a lot, I know it's a completely different genre of entertainment, but Lord Flashheart from Blackadder. And if there's Americans watching, they won't know who the fuck I'm talking about. Played by the late great Rick Mayall, known as the human hurricane of energy. And I believe when he was invited to do a guest spot in season 2 of Blackadder, he said, I'll do it on the proviso that I have all the best lines. And he absolutely fucking went for it. He went insane. He chewed the shit out of the scenery. And I believe the way someone described it is there's only 2 ways Rick Mayall knew how to act, and that's ego and more ego. And I think in that it's ego cubed. It's just ego with a 3 next to it. It's insane. And I think in a later season they bring him back to have an entire episode dedicated to how big his penis is. It's fucking amazing. And that's the kind of shit I want to see more actors doing. I want to see them come on set and start chewing the fuck out of the scenery. I want that. It's so good when you see actors who genuinely enjoy the role they're playing. It's yes, that's what we need. Moving back to Esposito, his gambit of playing the character like he had a secret paid off, and critics and fans were enamoured with his performance and were clambering to know more about this mysterious man in a yellow shirt who sold chicken.
How did he play him like he had a secret?
Ooh. Esposito delivered all of his lines with this quiet menace. And that was a completely deliberate action on his part because he took yoga lessons prior to appearing in the episode so he can control his breathing, because he wanted to portray Gustavo Fring as a man who was always listening very intently and was keenly aware of his surroundings at all times, which is why he just exudes just this aura. Just this aura of this guy would fuck your shit up in a moment if he wanted to, and there's just something off about him you can never quite place. Because he's not breathing naturally, he's not moving in a natural way, he's too calm and in control of himself to just be a guy who sells chicken. Or that's what the audience thought, because remember in the original treatment for the script, he was just a guy who sold chicken.
See, if I was trying to make a character who was supposed to have implied villainous intent, you use cinematography a lot to do that, and he didn't have that.
No, because obviously he couldn't say, oh yeah, can you film me from this angle? No, he did it purely through the power of his acting, and it speaks to how good an actor Esposito is that he could do that. And the fact he went above and beyond because he wanted to get more roles.
Hero.
Yeah. I don't use the word hero often on this channel. Actually, I use it in every fucking episode. You know what? Giancarlo Esposito, fucking big dick hero right there. Holy shit. 'Cause that's amazing, isn't it? He completely went above and beyond what he was supposed to. He had a one episode guest spot as Man Who Sells Chicken. And he managed to turn that into the most magnetic villain of the entire fucking series. Holy shit. I can't think of a parallel to that in any other, fiction I've ever seen. Well, just think about how iconic this villain is to the series. Like, one of the main bad guys of the entire Breaking Bad series. And he started off, literally, in the script as Man Who Sells Chicken. What the fuck? That'd be like if Sauron started as Orc who, cleans the toilets in the original draft of Lord of the Rings. And by the end, it's leader of entire Mordor armies. How the fuck did he get that promotion? Do you know what my favourite part about Giancarlo Esposito managing to go from playing a bit part in one episode to being a main series player is?
What?
It's not even the first time it happened in Breaking Bad, because the exact same thing happened with Jesse Pinkman, played by Aaron Paul, because he was originally, if people don't know, supposed to be killed in the first season, but based purely on the strength of his characterisation of Jesse Pinkman and his chemistry with Bryan Cranston, they rewrote the script and brought him back again.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it's this thing that's super rare in the world of acting happened twice in Breaking Bad. What a fucking great show. So I think Brad and audience at home, we can all agree that Giancarlo Esposito's idea of portraying Gustavo Fring with this aura of quiet menace and acting as if he had a secret that the audience would be fascinated by was a fucking genius decision. But just for a moment, let's imagine if instead, when he was cast as Gustavo Fring in that first episode and given the line direction of you're just a guy who sells chicken, he decided to make him appear to be a villain by going in the exact opposite direction. Imagine if he just turned up on his first day of shooting dressed like fucking M. Bison. And he's got a big he's got every single, evil villain, trait at once, at the same time. He's got the eye patch, he's got a Snyder Whiplash mustache, he's got the dictator hat, he's got the cape.
He's got the long cigar.
Yeah, he's got the long cigar, he's got the cat on his lap. So what other villain traits could he do? He's got the scar down one side of his face.
Oh, yeah.
He's got, the Dr. Evil bald head. He's got the Dr. Evil bald head. He's got the, oh man, what's the suit that they always wear? He's got a pure
white suit.
A pure, crisp white suit. He's playing cards. I hope you're keeping track of these, Brad, as well. So you're going to have to Photoshop this in a minute.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So, come on, think of some more. Come on, Brad, make it more difficult for yourself.
Think some more?
Yeah,
You've already got me putting him in a suit and the M. Bison outfit at the same time.
No, the M. Bison cape.
The M. Bison cape,
Yeah,
right, that's a
cape.
bit easier.
The M. Bison cape, and he's got to wear an eye patch over one eye, but the other eye's got a scar on it, the bald head, the crisp white suit, he's playing cards, he's got the white cat, he's got the big moustache. What other villain things could he have?
I think that's all of them, Karl.
No, he's sitting in a floating throne. Like the floating Magneto throne.
Inside a mountain with his head
Inside
on
a mountain, and
With
he's
his head on
got
it.
Bryan Cranston on the James Bond thing, the laser shining up, but all the laser's got the Los Polos Hermanos logo on it. Oh man, that'd be great. I would have watched that show. I would have watched that show.
I mean, Breaking Bad would have taken a huge turn.
If in one episode just that guy turns up. Can you imagine though, I think the result would have been exactly the same. If he turned up with all that shit on, the audience would have the exact same reaction of, we need to see more of this guy. This guy can't just be a guy who sells chicken. There's something else to him. Oh, sorry, this is standard dress for all managers at Los Polos Hermanos. It's you just see him outside, in the advert he does for the chicken shop. He's just him tying a chicken to a fucking train track.
You can see the director going, Esposito, stop, and he's there going, try the nuggets, there to die for.
That's not really what we had in mind for this guy. Are you sure? So that'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
Oh, God.
If he'd have done that. I know obviously he wouldn't have been invited back and they probably would have recast him and just got someone else in. And the series would have been really boring because it would have been a really boring scene where Bryan Cranston ate fucking chicken nuggets. But at the same time, oh God, I would have just loved it if he would have just come in, he's got a big, huge, big, comically large handlebar moustache or some shit, riding a penny farthing round. As Esposito had predicted, the steely facade he projected while playing Gustavo Fring fascinated fans who wanted to know more about the character.
So how did this lead to him securing a spot as one of the main cast?
Well, the producers were similarly fascinated by his performance and saw fan reaction to the character and decided to invite him back for another guest spot at the end of season 2. Esposito happily agreed to come back and do another guest spot and once again portrayed Gustavo Fring with the same steely facade and aura of quiet menace about him he'd done in the previous episode he'd appeared in. And once again, fans became fascinated with who in the fuck this guy selling chicken actually was. After hearing from director Vince Gilligan that they were planning on bringing Gustavo Fring back in the next season, Esposito decided to enact his master plan and secure himself a spot as a series regular.
How did he do that?
Well, as you can imagine, Brad, after portraying Gustavo Fring in such a way that fans were fascinated by him, but being under no obligation to come back because he only appeared in guest spots and didn't have a contract, he held all the cards when it came to negotiating any appearances he'd make in season 3. In fact, Esposito was so confident that he held all the cards that when the producers approached him and offered him a one-off guest spot in season 3, he was all like, nah, I'm good.
What did the producers do?
They started to panic because they kind of hinted at the end of season 2 that Gustavo Fring was going to be sort of a big deal in the next season, and they knew fans would be pissed off if they didn't, have a payoff to that. So they offered Esposito 7 guest spots in the next season.
Which he took.
No, he turned those down as well. You know what I said, his dick walked into the audition 10 minutes before him? I wasn't lying. Esposito was playing the fucking long game, man. This guy was playing 4D chess. This guy fucking knew how to hustle.
It takes so much confidence to pull off something like that.
Not confidence, Brad, balls. Audience at home, I wasn't lying when I said Esposito's penis walked into his audition 10 minutes before he did. Because it takes unimaginably large balls to turn down 7 guest spots on the biggest TV show in the world at the time, because you're holding out for a spot as series regular when you'd appeared in 2 fucking episodes, you're a struggling actor nobody has fucking heard of, and your first appearance was as Man Who Sells Chicken. But he knew, he was that confident in his own acting ability, he held out, and he knew if I keep turning them down, eventually the producers are going to have to ask me what I want. And they did. They approached him and said, look, Esposito, we want you back. What do we need to do to get you to come back and play Gus again? And he said, I'll happily come back and do as many episodes of Breaking Bad as you want, as a series regular.
Yeah!
Because that's how it's fucking done. Realising this was the only way to get Esposito on board, the producers relented and brought him on as a series regular, and then went right ahead and rewrote the entire 3rd season to make it more about him, and turned Gustavo Fring from guy who sells chicken into main bad guy of several fucking seasons. And that is how Giancarlo Esposito hustled his way into our hearts and became one of the most magnetic and charismatic villains in television history. Oh man, what a don.
Fucking hero.
I know, what a fucking don this guy is. Okay, Brad, so since today we've talked about a bit character who somehow became a part of the main cast, is there a bit character from a show you wanted to see become part of the main cast that never did?
Well, am I the only one who wanted Gunther from Friends to become part of the main series?
Yeah, I was always a bit disappointed that you never got an episode dedicated to him.
Yeah, he never got a proper finale.
He never got anything, did he? You never even got a single episode where you find out more about him.
Yeah.
And I think it's great because I don't know the actor's name, but have you ever heard how he got the role of Gunther?
No.
He's the only guy on set who actually knew how to use a coffee machine because he was working as a barista at the time.
See, he could have parlayed that. I mean, he did. He was in all 10 seasons.
He was in every single episode, I think, for all 10 seasons, but he never got an episode dedicated exclusively to him. That's kind of annoying. And I think at one point they even asked, do you know what my last name is? And they say no. So that's how little we found out about that character, so that's a bit disappointing. The one for me, though, it's got to be Bishop Brennan from Father Ted. Because I always wanted to know more about Bishop Brennan and the life that he led when he wasn't dealing with Father Ted. Because they put in subtle hints about the fact, all the bishops in that show are super corrupt and spent all their time at Las Vegas and, sleeping with strippers and stuff. And it's only hinted at, but I wanted to see a full episode dedicated to that. Just to see. Because I love the actor and how he plays Bishop Brennan. He's a terrifying man. I want to see him just in day-to-day interactions with people. I'll tell you a character that I always wanted to see more of, and I'm glad they actually started to give them more places on. And that's Matt Berry in the IT Crowd.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, because I fucking love Matt Berry. Every quote he has in that show is fucking phenomenal. What's your favourite, Brad?
I think the only one that comes to mind is his introduction.
First line he gives. I knew you were going to say that, and do you know why? Because we recorded this scene earlier, but at the same time, I knew you were going to say it because that line's so great. So he walks into, Father! What an introduction for a character. He's also got the one where it's oh yes, and today's the first interfaith all religions tour of Renham Industries, and they walk in, and he just stood there with someone repairing his robot pants, just go with it. And he turns around and goes, piss off! It's oh god, it's the way he says that is so strong.
When he joined Spaceology, I've got a robot hand!
So I've got a helicopter. It's
because I wished for it.
It's so good. All his lines are amazing. I'm doing Secret Millionaire. And he's just dressed like a fucking aristocrat.
On the phone saying, I can't come at the moment to sort out this $60 billion deal.
Oh man, there's so many good jokes in that show. I think my favourite one is, it's like when they're talking about, wow, a word from him can make or break a company. And they hold up a magazine that says on it, a word from him can make or break any company. It's so fucking stupid.
What would you say is your favourite moment in all of the IT crowd?
Oh, you can't do this to me, Brad. Oh, it's so... Oh, man, there's too many. I think, for me, it has to be just the sight gag in the episode where they go to the gay musical. Like, just go with it, guys. And, like, Jen goes to order a glass of wine after seeing, like, you know, Roy's in the wheelchair. And she goes and looks, and it's just Moss in full fucking uniform. It's like, yes, miss. And it's just, it's so fucking stupid. It gets me every single time. It's like that moment in Jaws. Do you know the bit where the head falls out of the boat? It always scares me, even though I know it's coming, because it's just that fucking good. And it's the same thing with that joke. That joke is so well written, it always makes me laugh, even though I know it's coming. I know it. I can predict, I can see it. I've watched the episode that many times, but every single time I just laugh. I guffaw like a jackass every single time.
I'd say mine has to be the episode where Roy gets kissed on the bum by the masseuse.
That's a good episode.
And the constant references to the cleftal horizon always got me.
What's that? Oh, the bum line.
When he's in court and he says, where did he kiss you? Just next to the cleftal horizon. In layman's terms, the bum line.
It's so fucking good.
And the fact that everyone takes it so seriously and Jen keeps cracking up even though everyone else is like, it's not a laughing matter, Jen.